Before the world knew Rowan Atkinson as a master of physical comedy, he grew up as a quiet boy on a farm in County Durham, England. Born on January 6, 1955, as the youngest of four sons, he experienced a childhood shaped by both discipline and early loss, including the death of a brother in infancy. His parents emphasized education, self-control, and responsibility, creating a structured environment that encouraged achievement but also placed pressure on young Rowan. On the surface, life appeared stable, yet within his mind, a sense of difference and uncertainty was forming. These early experiences planted the seeds of resilience, teaching him to navigate expectations quietly while grappling with personal challenges that would later influence both his life and his art. Struggling with a stutter. Around age 5, Rowan developed a severe stutter that made speaking difficult and, at times, embarrassing. Words often stuck in his throat, making simple interactions a source of anxiety. School, instead of being a safe place, became a daily test of endurance, with classmates frequently noticing and teasing him. The experience of feeling different shaped his early sense of self, fostering introspection and sensitivity. Though challenging, this difficulty also set the stage for an unexpected skill: Rowan's ability to observe, analyze, and express himself creatively without relying solely on speech. His stutter, while a source of frustration, would ultimately inform the silent brilliance of his comedy. Finding refuge on stage, Rowan discovered that when performing, his stutter almost entirely disappeared. Acting offered him relief, allowing him to step into a character and speak without fear of judgment. The stage created a safe distance between himself and the vulnerability of daily communication. It was a space where he could focus, control his body, and convey emotion with precision. Performance became a sanctuary, not for fame, but for freedom, the chance to exist without constant self-monitoring. This early connection to performance laid the foundation for a career that would transform personal challenges into universal laughter. Academic excellence. Despite the challenges of speech, Rowan excelled academically, particularly in mathematics and science. He pursued his studies with determination, attending Newcastle University to study electrical and electronic engineering, graduating in 1975. To teachers and peers, he appeared destined for a stable and conventional career, with comedy seeming an impractical pursuit. Yet beneath the structure of academic life, the pull of performance persisted, quietly shaping his ambitions. The discipline and analytical thinking he developed in his studies would later complement the precision and timing that became hallmarks of his comedic style. Oxford and a new direction. Rowan continued his education at the Queen's College, Oxford, pursuing a master's degree and briefly exploring doctoral research. Oxford offered both intellectual rigor and cultural opportunity, allowing him to explore performance alongside academic pursuits. Joining the Drama Society and Student Review, he began experimenting with comedy, discovering how physicality, timing, and characterization could transform humor. Fellow students noticed a shift. The quiet engineering student became animated and fearless on stage. It was also at Oxford that he met writer Richard Curtis, a collaboration that would shape the trajectory of British comedy for years to come. The rise of physical comedy. What set Rowan apart early on was his instinctive understanding of physical comedy. Inspired by legends like Buster Keaton and Jacques Tati, he honed facial expressions, precise movements, and timing to communicate humor without relying on words. This approach allowed him to convey nuance, emotion, and absurdity while protecting himself from the vulnerabilities of speech. Physical comedy became both a craft and a tool of resilience, turning a perceived limitation into a unique advantage that would define his career. Early recognition. In 1976, Rowan performed with the Oxford Revue at the Edinburgh Festival Fringe, gaining his first exposure beyond the university setting. Responses were mixed. Some viewers were confused, while others recognized originality and talent. Following this, he faced challenges breaking into television, with executives unsure how to fit a performer who defied conventional formats. Despite rejection and self-doubt, Rowan persisted, refining his style and learning to harness characters as a way to communicate freely and confidently. Characters as armor. Rowan realized that adopting characters allowed him to speak and perform without anxiety. While his natural voice often triggered stuttering, stepping into a persona alleviated tension. This understanding shifted his approach to comedy, turning vulnerability into a strength. Characters became protective vehicles for expression, allowing him to fully inhabit performance without the self-consciousness that had marked his youth. It was a strategy rooted in both practicality and artistry, shaping the iconic roles he would later create. First breakthroughs. His first notable break came in 1979 with a BBC radio series where he showcased versatility through multiple fictional characters. While the program reached a modest audience, it demonstrated his originality to critics and collaborators. Around the same time, he returned to Edinburgh Fringe with a largely silent show, relying on exaggerated physicality and mime. Responses were polarized, but industry observers recognized discipline and potential, leading to further opportunities in television. These early breakthroughs proved that persistence, innovation, and a willingness to embrace risk were key ingredients to his success. Television success. Rowan's first major television success began cautiously, with mixed reviews and low viewership. However, a supportive BBC decision-maker commissioned a second series, providing a critical lifeline. Over time, audiences embraced his unconventional performances, including memorable sketches that combined absurdity, intensity, and precision. The success was not immediate, but it validated his method of using physical comedy to communicate humor universally. Gradually, Rowan's reputation as a meticulous, fearless comic performer solidified, setting the stage for his iconic character work. Perfection and pressure. As acclaim grew, so did the demands on Rowan. Known for exacting standards, he devoted long hours to writing, rehearsals, and refining performances. The public often saw effortless laughter, but behind the scenes, he faced stress, exhaustion, and intense focus. Comedy for him was not casual play. It was precise craft, demanding both mental and physical discipline. This dedication reinforced his artistry, yet it also highlighted the personal cost of sustaining performance at the highest level. Reinventing for new success. Rather than relying on a single formula, Rowan reinvented his approach with new projects, including a historical sitcom that allowed exploration of different comedic rhythms. Early versions faced production challenges and mixed reception, but persistence and refinement led to a successful and celebrated series. This demonstrated his adaptability, commitment to quality, and willingness to learn from setbacks, traits that would continue to define his career. The hidden cost. While audiences enjoyed laughter, Rowan endured intense physical and emotional demands. Precise facial control, timing, and endurance left him drained after filming, highlighting the tension between public perception and private effort. The role brought fame but also reinforced his tendency to hide behind characters, continuing a lifelong practice of channeling vulnerability into performance. Despite exhaustion, the work remained deeply satisfying as it allowed him to express creativity on an unparalleled scale. Balance and personal life. Over time, Rowan adapted, reducing the demands of live performance through animation and selective appearances. In his private life, he maintained relative privacy, raising children and cultivating a quieter domestic world. This balance between public visibility and personal stability reflects a deliberate effort to prioritize well-being while continuing to share his artistry. Rowan's choices illustrate a commitment to sustainability and thoughtful engagement, emphasizing that creative fulfillment does not require constant exposure or sacrifice. Courage and humanity. Beyond comedy, Rowan has demonstrated courage and integrity. He has advocated for freedom of expression, supported open debate, and, in extraordinary moments, remained calm under pressure to protect others. These actions reveal a multidimensional person whose life extends far beyond the characters he plays. His resilience, humility, and thoughtful approach to challenges reflect the quiet strength that has underpinned both his personal and professional journey. Embracing imperfection. Despite global acclaim, Rowan has maintained self-reflection and humility, acknowledging doubts and uncertainties that have accompanied him since childhood. Fame did not erase insecurities, but reframed them, showing that personal growth involves adaptation rather than perfection. By accepting vulnerability, balancing demands, and learning to navigate both public and private challenges, Rowan has modeled resilience, authenticity, and creativity, leaving a lasting impression that extends beyond laughter. Legacy of quiet strength. Rowan Atkinson's life demonstrates the power of adaptation, discipline, and creative resilience. He transformed vulnerability into artistry, challenges into opportunity, and silence into universal humor. While audiences see a beloved performer, Rowan's story is also one of perseverance, ingenuity, and quiet courage. His legacy is not only in the laughter he inspired, but also in the example he sets for living thoughtfully, embracing limitations, and turning personal challenges into lasting achievement. His journey reminds us that human strength often lies in resilience, creativity, and the ability to transform adversity into meaningful expression.